Good morning, everyone. I hope guys can I think Devajyoti Gatak.
Yes. Can I go ahead? Have some question.
I think
Hello.
there is a heavy disturbance from your end. Actually, there is a heavy disturbance from your end. Okay. Only few words we are able to hear.
Okay, let me rejoin.
Right. Okay. So guys, everyone is able to hear me clearly and everyone is able to see my screen. Can someone please confirm, guys? Is my voice is clear and my screen is clear to everyone?
Is this fine now or still the same?
You are traveling because
Yes, sir.
I am
Yes, sir.
saying,
Yes.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, sir, a few days back I couldn't join because of my office work. Now my question is, I have gone through the strangler pattern as well as the decomposition pattern showing by you those two drilling points, right? One is subdomain wise, another one was here. Now my question is, the first 2 points, right? One is subdomain and another one is the other segregation point. So those 2 points are also getting used for converting one monolith to microservice, right? Whereas strangler pattern is also getting used for the same, like from the monolith to microservice transformation. Now, does there any kind of relationship exist between these two journey, or these two completely independent, or any specific use case where we can use this one and strangler differently?
Okay. I'll answer. Can you go on mute action? Yeah.
Done,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you. So, can anyone take that answer on behalf of me? So the question is, sir, there are 3 patterns: decomposition by business capability, decomposition by subdomain, also strangler. All 3 are mainly used for monolithic to microservices. Is there any relation between these two to that? Is there any use case where we can see? That is a question which is okay. Can I answer, or can anyone attempt to try to answer that question, guys? Anyone? Because I explained clearly. Yeah, go ahead, Chaitanya or Devendra.
The strangler pattern, it is used for an existing monolith application which is well defined and working properly. So in that case, we will use that strangler pattern.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, go ahead. You want to add anything? Go ahead.
But in case of decomposition pattern, whether you want to add some new functionality, so in that case, we shall go for a decomposition pattern.
Yeah, exactly. It's a clear difference I mentioned. Let me repeat. I'll repeat from my side. Okay. So by default, the decomposition pattern is divided into 3 parts. The first one is capability as well as subdomain. These will tell you to get a list of microservices. The output of these 2 patterns is to get a list of microservices. Okay. Now, strangler pattern is only, this is clearly 4-5 times I mentioned. This clearly indicates my application is in monolith already and I want to move to microservices architecture. Okay. In that case, only strangler pattern will be useful. If I am designing a new application, then I don't need strangler pattern. What is a strangler pattern? Already my application is in monolith and I want to gradually, not immediately, I want to gradually move to microservices architecture. What I will do here, what I'm going to do here especially, first transform as well as eliminate, transform, coexist as well as eliminate. So this is what we are going to you are going to use. So the running notes is typically I wrote you see here, if you are designing a new application with microservices, we don't need this architecture at all. And only for product is already in legacy architectures like monolith or SOA, and we want to move to microservices, then we require this pattern. This is the clear running notes I have given. Okay. Devendra Gatak, I think, are you clear on this question?
Yeah, I'm clear with Strangler, sir. But when he is in the decomposition, that is also a journey to from a monolith to microservice, right? Both are monolith to microservice. I mean, that's why my confusion is arising. If you just go through a note of the decomposition pattern, just go up of this note, there also one line is from microservice, from monolith to microservice, this pattern is getting used in terms of decomposition also. So both are from monolith to microservice. Then what's the basic difference?
So just now I mentioned, I'm not really sure. Okay, let me repeat again. Okay. First of all, there are two cases. My product is in old architecture. Okay. And I want to move to new architecture. My product is in legacy architecture. And I want to move to new architecture. What is the first thing I need to do? What are my business capabilities? Independent as well as software, hardware, implementation, revenue. Okay. Based on this, I'll come up with the list of microservices. I conducted 2 sessions. I gave assignment, and you people come with a list. After applying business capability, after applying subdomain, then we come up with a list of microservices that is common for every product. That is common for every product. Even though you are in monolith to microservices or directly to microservices. So decomposition pattern with the first 2 things are common for every product, even though migrating from legacy to new or directly designing to new. But whereas Strangler is only used converting legacy to microservices.
Got it.
Okay.
So can we say in this manner? Can we say in this manner that whenever we are just designing something, whether that's from a monolith to microservice or placed microservice, that time a designing journey is getting handled by the decomposition first 2 points, and Strangler is very much specific to
Correct.
monolith to microservice
Correct.
technical conversion,
Exactly.
the repository
Technical
conversion.
conversion. Exactly.
Okay.
Technical
Okay.
conversion.
Now it
Correct.
makes sense. Sir.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
it makes
Okay. Now
sense.
it makes
Yes.
sense. Now it makes sense.
Man, forget about technical. Forget about technical. Okay. My point is, technical is one aspect. In a business also. What is a business? Sir, I am transformed and I'm using in production. But somehow it is not giving required results. I told the income tax returns website. Okay. What they did in income tax returns. Okay. Some of the cases they were not able to satisfy business customers. They cannot do that. Immediately what they applied, they kept the old system. Okay. Old system is for what? Business employees income tax returns, and they kept a new system for IT employees. So 2 systems are working, and slowly this problem is converted in new system. Then finally they eliminated old system. Business point of view also, technical point of view is one aspect. Business point of view also one more aspect is, I'm going to have 2 phases. Transform, coexist.
Yeah, the
Then
implementation as well as technical for the
correct.
Strangler.
Exactly. Exactly.
Got it.
Not only
Got
technical.
it. Got it.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah,
And
implementation and technical, whereas that is basically just to segregation the business idea into microservices.
yep. Okay.
Got it. Got
Yep.
it. Sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. And first of all, I'm really happy. People who are not attended also going through my recording sessions and asking questions. I'm very, very happy. Okay. There is a question from Ranjan Kumar. by default, Ranjan Kumar, I told already, some of the patterns are only theory. Okay. Implementation is in, I am told that I am clearly mentioned that I am going to explain in the registry API gateway. There is a pattern. Okay. While explaining the API gateway, the point is I'll place two buttons on the UI. Okay. If I click old button, I'll create a gateway with old URL. If I create a new button, it will redirect to the new way. Okay. So something like you should have a code with old architecture. You should have a code with new architecture. Okay. So by default, if I redirect to old, it should redirect to old URL. And if you give it a new URL. Okay. So these things by default, we can write a small code and we can showcase, but it's not going to be useful. Okay. Some of the design patterns like decomposition, scalability subdomain, strangler, we cannot write a code here. Already I have a system with old stuff and I'm designing it in new stuff. Okay. Then only that will be useful. That only you will get at the time of implementation. But I'll try to see, I'll write some code in the old system and I'll try to see this new code in the new system. And API gateway, while I'm teaching API gateway registry, at that time, I'll include this. This is what I mentioned here. Okay. So guys, that is the point here I want to mention. Same points I'm repeating again. I feel that people are not joining regularly. That's what I'm feeling. Okay. If you join regularly or if you miss some classes, kindly attend the, watch the recording videos. Okay. So for example, yesterday's design pattern on database. So some of the things only concept wise we can visualize. Okay. Not every design pattern will have a code. Please understand, not every design pattern will have a code. Okay. But strangler, especially strangler. Okay. Already my functionality is in old system. Okay. And I'm going to migrate a new system. So I'll create two endpoints. One endpoint is already there. I'll create a new endpoint. I'll keep two routes. Anyhow, I need to explain in this Eureka registry API gateway. That time I will include this point also where you can understand practically. That is what I mentioned. Okay. Right. I hope Ranjan Kumar, is it clear? Yep. So better rather than typing, if you can speak, that is a more and more effective. Okay. Yeah. Any other question? Ranjan Kumar, are you clear? I'm not getting a response. Okay. Sulek Ranjan Kumar, I'm talking to you. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, one more thing I forgot to mention that yes, I
Please.
joined your that logger that weekend workshop. That was really insightful, really helpful,
Okay.
really insightful. My question is that will we be also repeating those knowledge and
Yes.
hands-on in this course
Yes.
as well?
Yes. In the workshop, I didn't explain code, right?
Correct, sir. Correct.
I only explained the concept. Code I
Yeah.
didn't shown. Now in this class, I'm going to write a code. I will explain step-by-step code. Okay. How I can integrate Logstash, how to write the code. We'll see the code. Right? Yeah.
Fine, sir. Fine. Yeah. Waiting
Thank
for
you.
that. Yes.
Everything will
Can
be
And sir,
there, sir.
yeah. And sir, your new note for this database.
you
This
share us that link?
new note is upload.
Yeah, I'll upload today. I'm going to upload. Okay, just start in the class itself. I'm going to, before I end up the class, I'll upload today. Okay, because somehow 2 days I'm missing. That's why if I stop the class, that's what I'm going to office and be okay. So from today onwards, what I will do here, sir, before class itself, I'll upload so that you can go through that. It's a mistake from my side. Apologize.
No problem, sir. No
That's
problem,
it.
sir.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
not
that's
a
it.
problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Can you upload that?
Great thing is, sir, that you are taking everyone's doubt. That is
That's
a very
right.
good thing, actually.
No. It's sir. It's our responsibility. It's our responsibility.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Nothing
Thanks
to
for
it.
that.
Yeah. Debendra, you are telling something, Debendra?
Can you upload that video, that weekend session that one on ELK stock you are giving one
I
demo?
hope the YouTube video is available, right? Already.
Can you share that link in that WhatsApp group so that we can download it from there?
It's a YouTube video. You cannot download. Okay, you can watch actually, but nothing to worry, right? Because I'm going to take care in the class, right? I'm going to take care in the class. Okay, right. And also, I mean, I'll check. I'll give you a link also. Okay, nothing to worry. But one more point I want to mention, sir. The way class is going on, right, sir? So it may take some time, sir. I'm telling you, 45 classes may not sufficient, sir. The reason is, people are interested, and I'm getting good brainstorming sessions. So I'll make sure that time constraint is not there for everyone. Okay. So it may take some more time, sir. It will not be completed whatever the timeline I mentioned. 45 classes I cannot complete. I will explain because now onwards going to be there. Maximum today is the last theory, and tomorrow onwards all the concepts will come with a coding. Okay. And lot of questions in implementing also. So please don't worry that 45 classes already over, these many over, but still not get completed. So because I need to take care every participants and need to make sure that all should understand clearly, because this is the first attempt we are planning. Okay. And definitely there will be here and plus and minus will be there in as it's a first batch. Okay. So we'll make sure that we'll get a success by taking inputs from everyone. As of now, I'm thinking that we estimated rough time 45 days, but that might not satisfy. I hope kindly take this note, guys. Okay. Those who are little bit hurry on the timeline, this is not going to happen. But I hope everyone is not that much stringent on the timelines. Okay. Right. Cool.
Sir, we are mostly concerning on over the quality, not about
Yeah.
the time frame, sir.
Yes, that's what I'm telling, sir. I know that's what, but I thought of giving my opinion. Okay, right. Yes. Now, yesterday, coming back to our topic, guys. Yesterday, what we discussed is database design pattern. So, as part of microservices architecture, every microservice should have its own repository. Every microservice has its own repository. The reason is, as of now, concept wise, if you divide that application only on the front end layer, middleware layer, database layer, something like if you divide, okay. But if the database itself is having a problem, then the entire system will be in, it will not be in active mode. So that's why if you divide that application into different databases also, if one database goes down, it will not impact the other stuff. So that is the reason. But as part of customer point of view, economical point of view, it is not feasible. That's why we are planning to have schema level. Okay. If at all, if possible. Okay. What is it actually? Database per service. That is, instead of database per service, within the same database, we can create n number of schemas. As the schema is also, what is the meaning of a schema? Okay, to the same database, to the same port number, same data in the same computer. Okay, same database, same port number. Yesterday I mentioned here. So we'll connect to that. We'll create n number of schemas. One connection, n number of schemas. Okay. Some cases also confusion point is in the same computer, I'll create multiple databases instances. Okay. Like MongoDB. So with port number one instance, with port number 2, another instance, with port number 3, another instance I can create. If that is the case, in the same computer, multiple databases, multiple Mongo services. Okay. So that is also possible. So my intention was database per service is a service. Okay. Where all the tables related to that particular service, all the tables related to that particular service should be available in the schema. Should be available in the schema. So one more point I want to add here, just like one more point I want to add here, where DBA can do a permissions. Okay, DBA can do a permission. For example, as I mentioned in yesterday, okay, Airtel system, inventory is a one microservice, packages is a one microservice, billing is a one microservice, payments is a one microservice, promotions is another microservice. Okay. Now, assuming that all are in the same technology, and I'm sure that next couple of years, this will also on the same technology. We will never migrate to new technology. Okay. But if I'm taking database per service, okay, if I'm taking database per service, okay, so by default in Spring Boot, okay, by default we will write a connection string schema level. We will write a connection string at schema level. That is our Spring Boot architecture itself, our Spring Boot system itself is designed, okay, where it will connect to only one schema. One Spring Boot application will connect to one schema. You understood my point, guys? Whenever I'm taking Spring Boot application, okay, I hope people might have already worked on Spring Boot application, okay. In Spring Boot application, maybe I'll open one Spring Boot application. I'll open one Spring Boot application, guys. 1 second. Yeah, I am opening one Spring Boot application, guys. So what is the point here? I'm talking by default, if you take Spring Boot as one of the framework in implementing this architecture, okay, default Spring Boot itself will have that capability where my one Spring Boot application will talk to only one schema. Will talk to only one schema. Default, that is CRUD repository, JPA repository, pagination repository. These are the internal repositories available, right, sir? Here, these are the internal repository available right here. So those are designed without writing any boilerplate code. I can connect to only one schema only. Is that correct, guys? Everyone is clear, right? Let me repeat. Sir, by default, if you are implementing database per service architecture, okay, database per service architecture. So, okay, 1 second, it's not uploaded. Give me 1 second. So, yeah. So what I'm trying to say here, yes, assuming that I'm going to use data, I mean, this design pattern of database per service, okay, assuming that I'm using Airtel implementation, there are 5 microservices are there. Assuming that my list is 5 microservices, okay. If I choose Spring Boot as a framework in implementing this architecture, I can choose anything, right? If I take Java, within Java, if I take Spring Boot, by default, these 5 services are available for me in converting, right, sir? Yes or no? Now, Spring Boot itself has a basic architecture. It will connect to only one schema. At any point of time, it will connect to only one schema. So, database side, you no need to keep any restrictions. I don't have that capability to write a code to connecting to multiple schemas at all. Okay. But if you are choosing another architecture, now if you take that Spring Boot application, guys, okay. Now here I am taking application.properties here, right? I am taking that here, this particular schema only. Only one schema I will use. You saw here JDBC, HSQL, MEM ticket. Only one schema only I can connect, because I am not writing entity manager factory. I am not explicitly writing entity manager factory, transaction management factory, connection factory. All these factories are derived from the code itself. That is enable auto scan. We know that, I don't want to go to Spring Boot fundamentals, guys. Enable auto scan is annotation which will automatically loads the connection factory. From the connection factory, it will load the entity manager factory. From the entity manager factories, our transaction management factory will be loaded. All these are loaded by default based on the point that it will connect to a single schema. But if you are working on any other technology apart from Spring Boot, if you are working on any other technology apart from Spring Boot like PHP or a .NET or any other system, and inventory microservice, billing microservice, payment microservice, right? At a database level, you need to do some conditions. What is that you need to write here? Database admin, he will create a user in the inventory system, inventory database, inventory schema. He will create a user. Only that user only can access inventory schema. He cannot access billing schema. He cannot access payment schema. He cannot access promotion schema. Packages. So a separate database user should be created on the database side, and that user only specifically can access that particular schema. Other schemas he cannot access. If database administrator can do that condition, then even though developer writes a code, you will not get the data. By mistake, if developer is writing a code, you will not get the data. So just like what I am trying to say is, in database per service, in a Spring Boot point of view, developer no need to do anything, either developer or DBA. Okay, because the core framework itself point to single schema itself, that is inline to implement microservices architecture. Spring Boot itself is inline to implement microservice architecture because of that. But if you are using any other technology, any other framework where you can connect to multiple schemas, the code itself is able to connect multiple schemas with one user ID, then we may access the data, right? Directly, instead of making a network call, I can make a local database call, right? That may give to deviation to the microservices principle. What DBA should do that? He should create a user for that particular database or that particular schema. He can only access the data. Okay, this is a DBA's responsibility. Okay, so DB owner and the DB owner can access only some tables, not all the tables. The schema where I can create that. Okay, some scripts will be there on the database side where you can apply here. So the interviewer point of view is, when you are doing database per service, how will you make sure, okay, where the developers cannot access the cross schema tables? How will you ensure? Okay, so answer is, if I am taking Spring Boot as my application, okay, so by default, Spring Boot itself is designed for implementing microservices architecture, okay, where I no need to do any database side. But apart from Spring Boot, if any other programming language is concerned, any other framework is concerned, we will create the users and the roles, and only one user in one system can only access the data in another system. That is what I'll make sure that actually. Okay, is it clear, guys? Actually, everyone is clear. Now we are going to talk to shared database. So database per service, any questions from anyone as of now?
Sir, logic, schema, and what is the difference between schema and database? Like we are creating the multiple database inside, like MySQL. Inside we created the database, but database is a logically collection of the table.
Yesterday you attended, Ronak.
Yes, sir.
I shown clearly, right? I opened a MySQL.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
let me. I'll open again. I'll open again. Okay, right. Nothing. I'll open again. I'll show you. So schema and database are only database terms actually. Some databases they think that schema and database are same. Okay, in
Okay.
MySQL, if I'm going to MySQL, I call that as a schema. All these are schemas. You're able to see that?
Yes, sir.
All these are schemas. So what I'm trying to say here, if at all Airtel is there, one schema will be inventory, one schema will be packages, one schema will be billing, one schema will be payments, one schema will be promotions. Okay? Where in that schema, I have an option to create users. Somewhere else I can create users here. Okay? And that user can only access this schema. So schema and database are synonyms. If you go to Oracle, table space will be there. Instead of schema, we call that as a table space. Okay. If you go to SQL Server, they don't call schema, they call database. So it all depends on database to database. Okay. So as a design point of view, what I can think of is for a particular username, for a particular password, for a particular name, I can access the data. What that name I can call that is a database name or a schema name. In a programming
Yes,
point of view. Understand?
Clear, sir.
Thank you. Yep. Any other question? Devendra, I don't know how many times. You have a question, you always on unmute. Do you have a question which is confusing for me?
No, I don't have any question.
Yeah, can you go on unmute? Can you go to mute actually? Always, I'm seeing that you're on always on unmute, but there is no disturbance from your end. Just only confusion whether you have a question or not. I mean, whenever you unmute, right? Not only you, anyone can unmute, I can think of. Okay, as of now, any questions here? Right. Now, the next point I'm talking is shared database. Okay. So what is a shared database? Yesterday, someone asked the question also. I told that I'm going to explain in a shared database concept. Okay. So in the first point, what I'm trying to say is every database, okay, will have its own schema. I mean, sorry, every microservice will have its own schema. Okay. And no data, I mean, there are no two schemas are pointing to one microservice. One microservice should not point to two schemas. That is a fundamental principle as per database per service. Okay. But assuming that in a certain big functional element, in a big functional area, assuming that in some big functional area where I have a section, group of tables will be there here. Group of tables will be there here. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is I'll take an example. I'm going to take an example where you can understand perfectly. Okay. shared database. Shared database pattern is, I have a use case that involves multiple scenarios. Like I am taking a order service, okay? Order service. What that order service should do is, whenever I'm creating order, okay, customer eligibility, there is a customer service should be impacted. In customer service, what? For example, sir, in Amazon, there is a pay later scheme will be there, or somewhere else, pay later. Okay. What they will do is, they will identify the customers who are having good reputation. I mean, they good tracking with this system. They will introduce a scheme. They will create some customer limit. Sir, I'll set a 1 lakh limit for you. Okay. Where you can pay later. You can order right now. After 1 week also you can pay the money. Or after 2 weeks also you can pay the money. What they will do here, they will track that. They are going to track that customer eligibility. Okay. You understood my point here? Customer eligibility, one of the table where I will track customer eligibility. This is one of the use case where customer ID eligible amount. The columns are what? The columns are cust ID, eligibility, amount. What is the final eligibility amount? That is a one scenario. Whenever I'm placing an order, I need to, if the pay later scheme is used, I need to touch customer eligibility table. Okay. Also, product service. The next service I am taking is what? Product service or inventory service. Instead of product service, inventory service. Okay. Inventory service. What I need to do here? Updating the inventory. The scenario is what here? Updating the inventory. Updating to the inventory. Yes or no, guys? Updating the inventory. So where what I am going to do, the columns might be here. What are the column might be? Order ID, product ID, final inventory or quantity available, quantity remaining. Quantity remaining. This is the inventory service here. This is a typical inventory service here. Okay. After that, I am going to have payment service. After that, I am going to have payment service. In the payment service, it is going to do the payment processing. Payment processing. In payment processing, the columns are order ID, payment ID, payment type, payment status. These are the columns here. Order ID, payment ID, payment type, status. Assuming that I can have a data, order ID 1, payment ID 2, payment type GPay, success. Somehow I am taking 3 scenarios, sir. Once order is getting created, customer service, inventory service, payment service, they are involved. There are a lot of tables are involved, but I am taking these 3. Okay. Now you'll come to the point here, guys. Sir, how many microservices I can see here in this particular scenario? How many microservices I can expect? Any guys, any idea? How many microservices I can see in this, in this design, in this example?
4.
4,
4.
correct, right? Exactly, 4 only, right? Correct. Order service having different functionality. Customer service having different functionality. Inventory service is having different functionality. Payment service is having different functionality. Definitely 4 microservices. Correct, right? Everyone is clear, right? Order, customer, inventory, payment. Right. Now what I am trying to say here, all customer related tables in the customer service, all inventory related tables will be inventory service. All payments related table will be in the payment side. And whenever you are looking for the data, order service will call customer service, order service will call inventory service, order service will call payment service. Am I right? That is what database per service pattern told me. That is the knowledge I got. Database per service. Yes or no? But here, I am having a UI. Okay? I am having a UI. Once order is placed successfully, please listen carefully, guys. Once order is placed successfully, my order dashboard, okay, what it contains here, assuming that my order dashboard is order ID, order status, customer eligibility, customer available balance or eligibility balance, payment status, shipment status. When shipment, I'll ignore that. Payment status, I'll ignore. Shipment status. Okay. So this is my dashboard. This is my dashboard typically. Order ID, order status, customer eligibility balance, payment status. This is my order is placed before that. I have this particular dashboard. Okay. Assuming that order ID 1. Okay. Order status is created. Customer eligibility amount is 90,000 if I used, and payment status is success. So in this scenario, I want to show customer eligibility amount as well as payment service status. Not everything. I want to show some fields in some services, not complete data. Order dashboard, I will show a complete Okay. Just like I will show a few data elements, critical data elements, not everything. Okay. Now, if this dashboard is there, guys, whatever the dashboard is there, do I need to call eligibility service and gets the customer eligibility? Do I need to call payment service and get the payment related flag? That's what database per service is telling me, right, guys? That's what database per service is telling me. What is database per service is telling me? Every functional service should have its own schema. Customer service is a functional service which has its own schema. Inventory service is a functional service. I have its own schema. Payment service is its own functional service. It's having its own schema. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to keep the data in the order service. But my once order is done, I am showing a dashboard that consists of the data from multiple services, but not all the data, only few data elements. Okay, I'm not having all the data, that is having few data elements. How to achieve this? This is a practical scenario. Yesterday, some participant asked me the same question. Is that correct? One of the participant, I forgot the name, related to the same question. I told that I am going to explain in tomorrow's class. Is that participant is available today? Guys, someone asked me the same question yesterday. Sir, in real time? Yeah. Yeah. Chaitanya, I think you only, right? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's the same scenario, right? Whatever you asked me yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Now, how to handle? This is the point here. So, this scenario not for every service, mainly critical services. In e-commerce framework, order service. In banking sector, loan service. Whenever I pay EMI, right? Whenever I pay EMI, my outstanding should be decreased, my principal should be decreased, my EMI should be decreased. Something like I have some calculations. Whenever I pay EMI, I have some calculations. Yes or no? Okay. If you take insurance sector, whenever I am taking insurance, car insurance or a bike insurance are right. Okay. NCB, no claim bonus will be there. Whenever I am claiming, NCB should be cleared. Whenever I'm not claiming, NCB should be there. So there will be critical functional microservices in every application that may look for frequent data, whether I need to call that every microservice whenever we need the data, or performance point of view, how to keep that. What is the best alternative? Where comes to the point of shared database pattern. Shared database pattern. Okay. So what is the meaning of shared database pattern is? What exactly the meaning of shared database pattern is? Okay. I will create the schema, the order schema, order microservice schema. Some of the elements of customer service, some of the elements of inventory service, some of the elements of payment service, I'll keep in the order service itself. Some means what? Whatever my dashboard is showing me. Whatever my dashboard is showing me here. So whenever I'm logging in, right? Whenever I'm logging in, I have a customer service data will be available already. I'll call a customer service, I'll get the data available. 1 lakh is the customer eligibility is there. right? And whenever I'm asking a product, I will call inventory service. I'll call inventory service. If I'm selecting AC, there are 10 ACs are available, and the 10 AC is available. I'll keep that in my memory, and I'm selecting Google Pay, and the payment is done successfully. So I need 90,000 is the customer eligibility amount. AC quantity is a 9, and also payment is success. Payment is success. So what I'm going to do here, I will create some tables. I'll create some tables, not every data, only few data elements I'll take it, which will never change the status. These values will never change. These values will never change here. Okay? By any of the service, then rather than going to each and every time to the service, I will only retrieve this particular data from the common table. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is I will create in the order service schema itself, extra tables I will add here. What is it that I will add here? ORD cust eligibility. ORD payment status. ORD inventory update. Like that, I'll take some tables within the order service where my point is they will not be updated by any other service. Whenever I'm placing order, once my payment is successfully done, I will update the customer eligibility. I will update to customer service. I will update to this table. My payment status, I will only take the success status, but all the details I will not take it. Inventory update, what is the quantity at the time available, how much he ordered, what is the remaining quantity for audit tracking. So I'll keep these tables in the order service. Okay. So that whenever order is placed or order dashboard, I will load the data with this information. I will not go to customer service getting only customer eligibility amount. I will not go to payment service to get the payment service related data. Okay. If customer is really going complete details, I'll have an option. Show all details. That time I will go to the respective microservice, I'll get the data. So if at all my UI is showing a minimal information and further click, he is looking for more information. What I'll do here, I will create that minimal information in the same schema itself. In the same schema itself, I'll create a minimal information. Okay. And the complete information I'll keep in the respective service, so that my order dashboard, whenever I click on order, basic details I can show. So where I can say that shared database is order service is a shared database which is containing order related details, eligibility related details, payment related details, or inventory details also I can take it. So some of the extra details in the shared service I can have to achieve the performance of the application. It is not applied to everyone. It all depends on your GUI. It all depends on your data volume. Assuming that if the volume is more, the data volume is very, very, very high, and one day you are going to take million orders. Okay. So maybe rather than creating per schema, different schemas, I can create in one schema itself all the tables also. For example, my order volume is 1 million per day. I'll take only one schema and I'll play with these things by taking a view and all those things, making sure that my technology will never be changed. But assuming that I have a change in technology where my customer service will go to some other customer portfolio, inventory service will go to SAP, payment service will go to payment gateway, right? Yes or no? In that case, shared database pattern will help me. For what it is going to help me? Where I'm going to have minimal details, I'll keep in this particular service. Extra service details I'll keep here so that the basic details I'll show at the basic funda I will have at my service level to minimize the database lookups, service lookups. This is a shared database pattern. This is not applied for everyone. This is not applied for everyone. Only certain cases we need to apply this particular pattern to achieve, to minimize the network calls, to minimize the database lookups. Maybe any Chaitanya, your query is perfectly resolved, or any points here on top of that? Yesterday's question.
No, sir, it's good.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone, guys? Yep. Now, this is the two database concepts, database per service as well as shared database concept. Okay. Maybe I'll save this. Let me upload the notes itself. Otherwise, I'll forget here.
Make it to in image format first. So that it will
What
be.
is it, sir? What is it, sir?
Oh, make it into an image format so that it will be easier.
Yeah, image only. I'm keeping image only, right? So it's triangular. Okay, you are asking to keep an image. At the same time, can you also see whether you are able to see properly image? Anyone, guys? If you are in near to computer, is it an image? I think it is coming like an image. It is coming like an image. This is what I'm uploading. Can you see that, guys? At the same time, can you see the notes? Just now I uploaded. Were you able to see somewhat good?
Yes, we can see it.
I will also write a notes here on the shared database. Just like whatever I mentioned, only draw a diagram. I will also write a notes here. Okay. So I will also see other any other things I need to add here and I'll upload. Okay. Right. Okay, guys. Thanks everyone today. We'll meet tomorrow.
Hi, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, I have a request, sir. Sir,
Mhm.
your React.js class is going on 9 o'clock now, sir. So, hello?
React, right? React, right? Ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Can
Yeah.
you share those demo classes in the group so that we can decide to join this React.js or not?
Okay. You want the recording sessions of React. Okay.
Yeah.
How can I
Yes.
share here? I cannot, there is no separate group right here.
Yeah. In all the groups you're sharing, no, sir?
You
All
are
the
not
demo
part of
classes.
that. You are not part of that WhatsApp community, madam.
Actually, I don't know. I got to know yesterday about React.js.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking.
So this is a WhatsApp group, madam.
Okay.
I'll request you to join this.
Yeah.
This is a WhatsApp group. Okay. This is a WhatsApp group. Join this. You will get there. Okay. So maybe one more point I want is in this group, I want to communicate anything, right? I'll create a Telegram group, guys, where no mobile numbers are there. Everyone has a Telegram, right, guys?
Yeah.
WhatsApp means there is a chance that mobile numbers will be exchanged, right? And it will cause a disturbance, right? Telegram group without number chatting. So I'm planning to have, if at all, if I want to communicate or you want to talk or anyone want to brainstorm, we can do that. Okay. I'll take it. Okay, fine. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.